Hello, hello. I just returned from Dracula's 500th birthday party. Me and a couple of friends were doing a murder mystery for one of my friends slash coworkers' 50th uh, birthday, and I was a witch, so that's why I look the way that I look today. Not that this isn't an outfit that I would wear on a normal day, but anyways, I am RV Alster, author of Blue Lights, Black Lights, A Little Broken, and so much more. And today, I told you guys yesterday we would talk about bingeability. I am currently doing 75 hard, and it's a challenge in which you do for 75 days things that you find difficult, like exercising 2 times a day, drinking enough water, getting 10,000 steps. Got that. Um, and for me personally, creating a YouTube video every day because this this is hard. I'm not very good at this, but I'm trying to get better at this, at consistency and at talking to a camera. Because I'm not even used to talking in general. But gotta do what you gotta do. Today we're gonna talk about bingeability, what makes a story bingeable, because this little number right here, Blue Lights, has had several people binge this, finish it in a day or two, because it gets to a point where they honestly say, I can't put it down. And you would think, like, maybe it's just because, like, Homegirl is just like this little tiny thing, you know? Yeah, no. Because there have also been people who's read the sequel, Black Lights, who is not a tiny little girl and has read this in a day or two. It's not the length of the story, it's the story and the writing itself. And the aspect that makes a story bingeable is the matter of conflict. Conflict. There should always be problems that are occurring. It's something that we love and hate as readers, as writers, because every single time things start going well, you know that things have to go wrong. So there's a balance to it. You don't want to entirely put your audience, your readers, through a downhill motion, or constantly through a uphill motion. But that roller coaster effect, that leaving questions unanswered and leaving things for speculations, leaving problems to linger into the next chapter, this is what makes people feel like, I can't stop. Not right now. Things are just starting up. There needs to be a reason for people to keep going. So, although I say that every chapter has to have a purpose, like what is the reason of this chapter, just because an issue is introduced in a chapter does not mean the issue has to be resolved within that same chapter. The issue, if you're writing a series, doesn't even necessarily need to be resolved in that same book. You have time. Character development takes time. Human development takes time. You don't just have one conversation and then the next day everything is fine and you no longer do the things that you did wrong before. That's not how it works. We want relatability. We want the characters to have these like fallback moments. And we want them to take a while to figure it out. I'm still wearing an earbud. But bingeability. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bingeability. And another thing that makes things bingeable is voice. character voice. Having a character that, one, makes things not necessarily an easy read in the aspect of like everything is given to you. Yesterday I talked a lot about this, about writing where it feels like every part of the story is just given to you. You don't have to have any speculation. But character voice being an easy read in the matter of you're not struggling to follow along with what the character is saying, or like it's not too overwhelming, because there are stories where there's so much going on in the language that you feel the need to take breaks. You have to like stop, pull back, and take a break from it before diving back in. With when writing Blue Lights, one, the main character is literally a teenage boy, so, and he's the narrator. It's first person, so like the language is not going to be that complicated, but it was also intentional because my audience is likely going to be young adults. It was intentional that he uses plain language when talking about things, when describing things in his thoughts and in his words, because it's so easy to just continue to read from like one page to the next. You don't have to stop and wonder like, what the heck does that mean? You know what that means. It doesn't take you out of the story. There are elements where when the reading can be a bit more complex, the writing can be a bit more complex, it kind of takes you out of the story because you have to figure out what it is this author is trying to say. And that may require you to sit back, think about the author, to sit back, think about, or pick up a dictionary or go on your phone and look up a definition. And when you look up a definition, you end up doing other things because the second you pick up your phone, it is a rabbit hole. But using plain language helps to keep the reader in the story with as the story progresses and goes on. This is not something that you would want to use every single time. There are definitely moments in which I want to use like more upstanding language when I have characters that fit that, because I mostly write in first person. I occasionally write in third person depending on my characters or the story that I'm trying to tell, but I do enjoy writing in first person and getting that first person point of view because it makes me feel like you get to experience the story with the characters rather than just having the story told to you. But yeah, it's no secret. As Stephen King said, there should be conflict on every page. Whether that be something as small as them trying to figure out what they want to eat for dinner and having a disagreement. Sorry, it is way past my bedtime. Or something as big as like, deciding if we want to like murk somebody or not. By the way, in this murder mystery, I was not the murderer, okay? I didn't do it. I don't care what anyone says. It wasn't me. But just little pieces of conflict that can help balance things out, especially when, again, when everything is going right. At some point, things have to go left. Because it's that wave, it's that roller coaster that keeps them coming back. Speaking of roller coaster, Black Lights has been repeatedly described as an emotional roller coaster filled with highs and lows. So, if you want to dive into that and you have read Blue Lights, I would suggest jumping into Black Lights. What is said about Blue Lights is that it really packs a punch. it fits a lot is fit into such a little book. Again, with the tight storytelling, every page feels impactful. But Black Lights, this is the emotional roller coaster that will have you talking at the book, possibly crying. I've gotten mixed reviews on that. I had two sisters reading Black Lights. One of them was crying, the other one was laughing at the same exact scene. So, it varies by person. But they are enjoyable stories from what I've heard. And I am about to get a lot more feedback on that because I am currently teaching with like this college prep program. And as an English teacher, I get to select a book for the students to read, and this summer they are going to be reading Blue Lights. I selected it in a matter because of how many students I've had that has read Blue Lights and like genuinely enjoyed it. I am currently not telling them that I am the author, and they don't have cell phones, so they can't look up who I am while they are at the university. They are staying at the university, except going home on the weekends. And when they go home on the weekends, I doubt they'll remember to look me up. So at the moment, I'm in the clear. Only one person knows that I'm the one that wrote the book because she's a student in my actual classroom. So let's see how long I can keep this up. Today was the first day of classes. Nobody knows that I am the author, and I'm not going to tell them. Let's see how long this lasts. But I'm going to wrap this up here and get ready for bed because I am tired. Kind of an old lady, I don't really stay out late. But yeah, see you tomorrow. Peace out. H on down.